Good evening, everybody, and welcome into Cavalier Field. It is game 26 of the Rocky Mountain League season, and it is tonight between the visiting Liberal BeeJays and the Dodge City A's. We take this opportunity to welcome in our listeners from the Liberal area. We'd like to welcome in everybody listening on 1270 KSCB and 92.3 FM. We welcome everybody in to the game tonight. It is the Liberal BeeJays and Dodge City A's. Let's take this opportunity to look at the starting lineups. We'll start with the visiting BeeJays. Leading off, it is the shortstop, number 3, Matt Bernath, the freshman from Point Loma Nazarene from Riverside, California. Batting second, the third baseman, number 2, Todd Baffa from the University of Texas at Dallas. Batting third is the second baseman, number 20, Drew Grego from the University of Nebraska. Batting cleanup for the BeeJays, it is the first baseman, number 24, Justin Hudson from Queens University of Charlotte. Batting fifth, number 39, Carson Willis. He is the DH tonight and is from the University of Arkansas. Batting sixth, the center fielder, number 21, Jack Ryan from Point Loma Nazarene. Batting seventh, the left fielder, number 8, Jacob Ortega from San Joaquin Delta. Batting eighth, that is the catcher, number 13, Diego Davis from the University of the Pacific. And rounding out the lineup for the Liberal BeeJays, it is the right fielder, number 4, TJ Cox. Cox from San Joaquin Delta as well. Ian Reed gets the start on the mound tonight for the Liberal BeeJays from Howard Junior College. So that is the starting lineup for the Liberal BeeJays. Let's go ahead and take a look at the lineup for the Dodge City A's as we get ready to go. Leading off for the Dodge City A's, it is the second baseman, number 6, Edward Gregory Jr. from Southern University. Batting second, the center fielder, number 8, Justin Cruz from Florida A&M University. Batting third, the third baseman, number 27, Matt Perez, also from Florida A&M University. Batting cleanup tonight, the designated hitter, number 10, Ryan Buckley, comes from Lake Erie College. Batting fifth, the first baseman, number 23, Jaden Moreno from Prairie View A&M. Batting sixth, the left fielder, number 15, Jacoby Radcliffe from Southern University. Batting seventh, the right fielder, number 13, Paxton Huff from Prairie View A&M. Batting eighth, the catcher, number 4, Dominic Roberts, also from Lake Erie College. And rounding out the lineup for the Dodge City A's, it is the shortstop, number 19, Kane Carlos. Carlos from Eastern Arizona College. Carson Lindsay gets the start tonight on the mound for the Dodge City A's, played for College of Central Florida and is planning to transfer to Florida A&M this coming fall. Those are your starting lineups for the A's and BeeJays. Of course, the A's and BeeJays, they were in action last night for the annual 4th of July game. The A's would fall to the BeeJays 13-8 in that game. The BeeJays would come out victorious on the 4th of July. Jason Davis got the win on the mound last night for the BeeJays. Remington Miller took the loss for the Dodge City A's. So we'll take a step aside for a few minutes and get ready for first pitch. We'll be back after this. You have been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Welcome in to Cavalier Field as we are getting ready for first pitch. The starting lineups being announced right now. It is the A's and BeeJays tonight. The BeeJays come into tonight's contest. They are 11-9 overall, 9-9 in the Rocky Mountain. The A's, they come into tonight's contest 10-15 overall, 8-8 in Rocky Mountain League play. So the A's and BeeJays back in action again after playing last night in the annual 4th of July. The BeeJays played against the A's earlier in the season. They won a non-league contest against the Dodge City A's back on June the 3rd. Won that game 3-2. They were supposed to have played on June the 5th, but that game was rained out and has been rescheduled for June the 10th. They played in a league contest at Dodge City. It was their first road trip of the season. Officially, they won that game 7-5. The A's, well, they're in the middle of a 5-game losing skid, looking for some good luck here tonight as they return to the friendly confines of Cavalier Field. It is time for the national anthem. We'll step aside for 1 minute for the national anthem, and we'll be back with first pitch after this. You have been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Welcome in. It is Carson Lindsay that gets the start on the mound tonight for the Dodge City A's. Game 3 in Rocky Mountain League play between these two teams. The BeeJays, they currently lead the series 2-0 as they have beaten the A's twice in league play. Let's take a look at our starting pitcher, Carson Lindsay. Lindsay, a recent addition to the Dodge City A's, just joined the team about a week and a half ago-ish. Does not have a record on the mound for the Dodge City A's. Lindsay, he is making his third appearance on the mound for the Dodge City A's. Pitched last against the Game Day Angels back on June the 27th. He also pitched against the Denver Cougars on June the 21st. He has 6 innings on the books for the Dodge City A's and 16.50 ERA for Mr. Lindsay. He has 11 earned runs, has struck out 1 and walked 5. So that is the storyline tonight as Carson Lindsay, the product from Florida A&M, the transfer, is getting the start on the mound tonight for the Dodge City A's. We are set for baseball action here at Cavalier Field. Game 26 of the season for the Dodge City A's. Matt Bernath set to lead off for the BeeJays as he takes a first pitch, sends a liner right past the diving second baseman, Edward Gregory Jr., and the BeeJays have their leadoff aboard. So that will bring in Todd Baffa for the Liberal BeeJays. Baffa also hit in the 2-hole last night. Takes the first pitch ball that misses outside from Lindsay. Baffa last night in the game officially 0 for 5, but had a walk, so he would come around and score in the second inning. Counts 2 balls and no strikes to Baffa. BeeJays have Bernath on at first here in the top of the first. Pitch in called strike by home plate umpire. It was a warm afternoon here in Dodge City. As that pitch in called strike catches the lower part of the zone. Currently 87, feels like 94. There are some clouds filtering in overhead as there's a few storms that should pass to our south without any issue. Baffa fouls that pitch off the end of the bat to the right and out of play, and count remains 2-2. The Liberal BeeJays tonight, they come in with their red subliminated tops. They have their powder blue numerals on the back outlined in white. Baffa grounds that one to the third baseman Perez, but it goes out into left field. That puts runners on at first and second. So that'll bring up Drew Grego. So they're red tops. It says Liberal on the front and powder blue as well with their numerals outlined in white, and then subliminates to a gray lower in the jersey. Of course, their gray pants with red pinstripes. The A's, they come in with their white uniforms tonight. White tops, yellow A's logo on the front outlined in green. Their numerals on the back in yellow outlined in green as well. There are 3 yellow stripes and 3 green stripes on their sleeves. Their white pants. That is the A's tonight. Down in the count, 0-1 is Grego. Grego had a night last night. Was 3 for 4 officially with a hit by pitch and would score 2 runs. Counts 1-1. Grego sends a high fly ball. It's going out into right field, making the diving catch and the leap. Sorry, not a diving catch, but a leap up on the warning track. And they double off Baffa. They say that Bernath tagged up. So they're getting clarification on the field, but the call is that they doubled off Baffa, that he left early from first. And then, so it was a leaping catch that robbed the hit of Grego. And it was the leaping catch by Paxton Huff out there in right field. So 2 away now for the BeeJays with the runner on third. So that brings in Justin Hudson. He is down in the count 0-1. Lindsay, he works from the third base side of the rubber, delivers a fastball that misses outside, and will even the count at 1 apiece. The A's looking for their first win after being on the road for 5 games. Pitch is grounded right back up the middle at the pitcher, Lindsey. He'll trot over, make the throw to first, and that will complete the out. We are headed to the bottom of the first. We'll see the top of the order for the Dodge City A's when we come back. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Welcome back in to Cavalier Field. It is Ian Reed that gets a start on the mound for the Liberal BeeJays. Reed, 6 foot 190 from Howard Junior College, has a 1-0 record through 4 2/3 innings with 7 strikeouts and 5 walks. A 1-0 count, and Edward Gregory flies out to the left fielder for the first out of the inning. That'll bring in Justin Cruz. Edward Gregory, he is the junior from Southern University, played at Detroit, comes from Detroit, Michigan. Justin Cruz up to bat now. Played his junior season at Florida A&M, comes from Archer, Florida. Grounds one at the third baseman, Baffa. The throw to first in time. Baffa bobbled it a little bit, but still gets the throw over, and that is quickly 2 away. So that'll bring up Matt Perez. Perez, the redshirt freshman for the Florida A&M, played there this season, comes from Orlando, Florida. So Perez set to face Reed, and he'll take a fastball inside for ball 1. Reed is working efficiently on the mound. 2 outs and had thrown just 3 pitches. Reed delivers inside again. It gets away from the catcher, Davis. Perez works ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Dimensions here at Cavalier Field. It is 330 down both the right and left field lines. Perez pops that one up. It's on the infield, giving chase as the catcher, Davis, and he'll pull it down in front of the A's dugout as they will go down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the first. It will be Willis, Ryan, and Ortega due up when we come back. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Welcome back, everybody, to Cavalier Field, top of the second. It is 0-0 as it will be Willis, Ryan, and Ortega due up this inning. Carson Lindsay returns to the mound for his second inning of work. Last pitched against the Game Day Angels on June the 27th. He went 4 innings in that outing, allowing 5 runs on 5 hits. He walked 2 and struck out 5 in that contest. Has Willis down in the count 0-2. Lindsay misses down low on the pitch. 1-2 coming. Willis grounds it to Perez, who makes the throw to first in time. And now 1 away. That brings in Jack Ryan. Ryan moves up 2 spots in the lineup tonight. He hit in the 8 hole last night for the BeeJays. Set to face off. Ryan takes the first pitch. He sees a called strike right down the zone. Finds himself down in the count early, 1-0, 0-1. Ryan, a swing, comes up empty on the Lindsay offering. He's down in the count 0-2 now. The A's would get on the board early last night as that pitch is grounded to the first baseman Moreno. He'll take it as a 3 unassisted, and that is quickly 2 away. So that brings up Jacob Ortega. Ortega moving up a couple of spots as well. He was the left fielder last night, is the left fielder again tonight. Was in the 9 hole last night, moves up 2 spots to the 7 hole here. Takes a pitch outside, finds himself ahead in the count 1-0. Wind's blowing out of the south here at Cavalier Field. It's Ortega takes a called strike. 1-1 pitch, called strike. I hadn't really noticed it as I wasn't watching as much, but the umpire has an unusual strike call. He steps to the side and points across the plate. Swung it at a high ball, and that is strike number 3, and the BeeJays go down 1-2-3 in the top of the second. It'll be Buckley, Moreno, and Radcliffe due up when we return. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Welcome back into Cavalier Field. It is the bottom of the second as the A's and BeeJays are currently scoreless. Buckley, Moreno, and Radcliffe due up for the Dodge City A's in this half inning. Ian Reed returns to the mound for the Liberal BeeJays. He pitched against the Denver Cougars back on June the 28th, went 4 innings, got the win, allowing 1 run on 3 hits, 5 strikeouts, and walked 4. The first pitch to Buckley misses high for ball number 1. Ryan Buckley, one of several players on the Dodge City A's roster coming from Lake Erie College. Takes a pitch called strike that evens a count at 1. A little bit of a light shower moving through right now. Buckley takes one. It's a fly ball. Headed out into right field. J.T. Cox there just ahead of the warning track pulls that one in. And quickly 1 away for the Dodge City A's. That brings up Jaden Moreno. Moreno, the first baseman tonight for the Dodge City A's. Takes the first pitch he sees. It's a called strike, catching the outer half of the zone. Finds himself down 0-1. Pitch, again catching that outer part. Moreno quickly down 0-2. From Reed. Moreno swings his bat, fouls it off the end towards the third base dugout. Count will remain 0-2. The pitch comes in, it hits Moreno. So the A's will have a runner aboard. A's have been banged up a little bit. There have been several hit-by pitches in the last few games. There were 2 back-to-back straight pitches at Derby back on Wednesday. So that brings in Jacoby Radcliffe. Radcliffe set to get his first at-bat tonight. Takes a swing at the first offering and comes up empty. He's down in the count 0-1. Ortega, Ryan, and Cox, that is the defensive alignment in the outfield from left to right for the Liberal BeeJays. So Radcliffe takes a pitch low and outside to even the count at 1. Baffa, Bernath, Grego, and Hudson from third to first across the infield. Diego Davis, the catcher behind home plate. Ian Reed on the mound completes the battery for the BeeJays. Grounded right back up the middle. It was off the pitcher. Goes 4-6-3, trying to turn the double play, but don't get the double. So it'll be a fielder's choice, and the A's have a runner on first. So that will bring in Paxton Huff. Huff, the 7-hole hitter, the right fielder for the Dodge City A's. Radcliffe goes. The pitch was a ball. Radcliffe over at second with a stolen base. And Huff is down in the count 0-1. So the pitch was actually a strike. 0-1 delivery coming from Reed. He works from the first base side of the rubber. Take a look back at Radcliffe at second. Delivers and fouled off the end of the bat. Huff down in the count 0-2. 1 on and 2 away for the Dodge City A's. The A's already have their first hit of the ball game. Reed delivers in. It misses outside. Makes it 1-2. The A's and BeeJays, they will be back in action tomorrow night as the A's will go back to Brent Gould Field. That one will be a non-league contest. 2-2 a count to Huff. Radcliffe standing about 6 feet off of second. Huff will take a pitch low from Reed, and the count runs full. We'll see what Reed can do with a payoff pitch here. He's looking in and has his sign and come set. The payoff pitch, a ball left high that gets away from the catcher Davis, and that'll put runners on the corners. So that brings up Dominic Roberts. Roberts, the catcher tonight for the Dodge City A's. Roberts did not play in last night's game. Kevin Hammond was the catcher, so the A's leave their catcher in the 8-hole as Roberts will take a swing and come up empty. Down in the count, 0-1. So Huff on at first, Radcliffe over at third. Moved over on the wild pitch that was ball 4. Roberts another big swing and a miss and finds himself down in the count 0-2. The 0-2 delivery. Reed waves off a couple of signs, has what he wants. Huff goes, and that will be ball 1 that is left outside. One ball and 2 strikes account for Dominic Roberts. The A's have runners in scoring position. Roberts sends one on the ground. It's out into left field. 1 run comes home. Huff giving the wave around. The throw is cut off on the infield, and it is a 2 RBI single for Dominic Roberts. So that'll bring up Kane Carlos at the bottom of the order. He was the 9-hole hitter last night as the shortstop. Carlos officially 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch and a walk. He would come around to score on that walk. The A's, they're going to use the courtesy runner, and they send Isaiah Velasco out to do the courtesy running for Roberts. So Velasco on now at first. Gets a little jumpy. The pitch to Kane Carlos in for strike number 1. Carlos takes a big swing, comes up empty. Finds himself down in the count 0-2. 0-2 delivery coming from Reed. He'll take a look over at first. Velasco goes. Carlos pops it up, giving chase out in shallow right field, and pulling it down is Grego, and that will end the inning. The A's have a 2-0 lead as we head to the top of the third. It'll be Davis, Cox, and Bernath due up when we come back. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Welcome back in to Cavalier Field. We'd like to take this opportunity to thank our listeners back in Liberal, Kansas, listening on Talk Radio 1270 KSCB and also on 92.3 FM. So we welcome you into our broadcast. It is the A's and BeeJays. We're in the top of the third. The A's with a 2-0 lead as Carson Lindsay returns to the mound for his third inning of work. Diego Davis leading off for the Liberal BeeJays and takes a first pitch strike. And now finds himself down in the count 0-2 as pitch called strike on the inner edge again. 0-2 delivery from Lindsay. Fired in. He'll miss outside. Makes it 1-2. So it's 8-9-1 due up for the BeeJays here in the top of the third. Davis will take one off the bat, sends it out into shallow center field and played off the hop by the center fielder Cruz, and the BeeJays have their leadoff aboard. That is their first hit of the ball game for the BeeJays as well. That'll bring in JT Cox. Cox came in the DH position last night. The BeeJays will send out the courtesy runner. Larry Olivares will be the courtesy runner for the BeeJays. Cox takes a pitch that misses low and outside. He works ahead in the count 1-0. So he'll take another pitch outside, and Lindsay has fallen behind in the count 2-0 to Cox. One on with nobody out for the Liberal BeeJays here in the top of the third. The throw over to first, not in time. Two-0 pitch. Missing a little bit low is ball number 3. Taking all the way. Cox finds himself in the count at 3-1 strike. Lindsay fires in. Called strike 2. It runs the count full. Home plate umpire said it caught enough of the outer edge of the zone. We'll see the payoff pitch. Olivares gets a lead off at first. It's grounded at the pitcher Lindsay. The throw to first in time, and it is out number 1. It moves Olivares over to second. So that'll return us back to the top of the order with Matt Bernath. Bernath singled his first time up. I lied. The BeeJays actually have 3 hits on the ball game. So that pitch to Bernath, it misses outside, makes it 1 ball and no strikes. Lindsay misses low. It bounces up as it hits the home plate. 2 balls and no strikes account to Bernath. Bernath steps out. He'll take a called strike 1. Pitch lined right back at Jaden Moreno at first, and that is 2 away for the Liberal BeeJays. That'll bring up Todd Baffa. He singled through the left side his first time up. Baffa takes the first pitch he sees. It's popped down the right field side and pulled down by Moreno in foul territory right at the BeeJays bullpen. And that will end the inning. We are headed to the bottom of the third. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Ian Reed is back on the mound for his third inning of work as we've entered the bottom of the third. Back at the top of the order for the Dodge City A's, and we will have Gregory Jr., Cruz, and Perez do up this inning. A's lead it 2-0. The first pitch to Gregory Jr. from Reed misses outside. It is ball number 1. Edward Gregory Jr., he's batting .295 on the season for the Dodge City A's. The 1-0 delivery from Reed as he'll fire in. Comes inside and misses. Makes it 2 balls and no strikes. Liberal BeeJays looking to make another return to the NBC. They went 2-2 at the NBC last year in 2024. They were 26-9 overall. 22-6. Finished second in the RMBL. Pitch misses for ball 4, and the A's have their leadoff aboard as is a 4-pitch walk to Edward Gregory Jr., and that brings up Justin Cruz. Cruz, he is leading the team in RBI, or in batting average. He's batting .520 on the season as he steps in. He grounded out his first time up. Justin Cruz has been on a bit of a tear since joining the team. We'll see what the A's can do here. They lead at 2-0. They scored 2 runs in the bottom of the second. The throw over to first is not in time. So the BeeJays are definitely cognizant of the fact that the A's do like to run when given the chance. The pitch to Cruz, a little high, but called strike, and has him down in the count 0-1. The A's have had invites to the NBC. Didn't make it last year, but did have an invite the year before. Grounded to the shortstop, Bernath. They make the throw to first for the out, and then overthrown, trying to get Edward Gregory Jr. at second. Out number 1, but the A's have another run just 90 feet away. So the first error of the ball game for the Liberal BeeJays is Edward Gregory Jr. ends up at third, and Matt Perez will take the first pitch strike, falls down in the count 0-1. Perez, he's batting .300 on the season. 0-1 delivery is grounded at Bernath again. They'll throw to first for the out. It scores a run, and the A's lead it 3-0. So that brings up Ryan Buckley. Buckley has been in and out of the lineup for the Dodge City A's as the DH here tonight. He flew out his last time up. He's played a little bit of first base as well. Buckley's batting .211 on the season as fouls off the first pitch he sees and falls down in the count 0-1. Out one delivery. Lights on here at Cavalier Field. Like I said, there are high clouds overhead. A few storms that have passed to our south as they say he goes around on the appeal. Buckley finds himself down in the count 0-2. Nobody on and 2 away for the Dodge City A's. They've scored in both of the last half innings as Reed misses outside. He thought it might have been strike 3, but it is ball 1. The 1-2 delivery. Buckley swings. And it will be a drop strike 3. Making the tag is Davis. That will end the inning. We're headed to the top of the 4th. The A's lead at 3-0. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Back in at Cavalier Field, where Carson Lindsay is back on the mound for the Dodge City A's. Is set to face off against Grego, Hudson, and Willis, due up for the Liberal BeeJays as we have entered the top of the 4th inning. A's lead at 3-0. Grego steps up for the Liberal BeeJays. Grego from Nebraska played at Bellevue West. Batting .358 on the season. Takes the first pitch, a little low. Works ahead in the count 1-0. Grego flew out his last time up, makes him 0 for 1 in the ballgame so far. Fouls that pitch off the end of the bat. It goes out of play to our right, out towards the field. Foul balls should send a few kids scattering, as if you bring back a foul ball here at Cavalier, you can get $1 at the concession stand. Grego grounds it right back at the pitcher, Lindsay. The throw to first in time, and that is the first out of the inning. That brings up Justin Hudson. He is 0 for 1, grounded out to the pitcher, Lindsay, his last time up. Hudson from Queens University of Charlotte, played at Butler Community College before that. Batting at .333 on the season. Takes a first pitch strike from Lindsay. Lindsay fires in, gets a called strike on the inside part, and has Hudson down in the count 0-2. Lindsay working quickly, delivers again, misses outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes, the count to Hudson, the first baseman for the Liberal BeeJays tonight. He is the cleanup hitter. One-two delivery. Fouled back into the netting. Count remains 1-2. One-two again. Misses low. A good job by Roberts to block that one. Count moves to 3-2, so we had missed a pitch. Full count, the payoff pitch from Lindsay. Chopped foul up the third base line and will do the payoff again. It's the countdown on the top of the scoreboard. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out for the BeeJays. We're in the top of the 4th. The A's leading 3-0. 3 runs for the, or 3 hits for the Liberal BeeJays, 1 hit for the Dodge City A's. Hudson grounds that one foul towards the A's bullpen. Count remains at 3-2. 8th pitch of the at-bat coming for Hudson, one of the longest at-bats of the ball game thus far. Lindsay delivers. It's high, ball 4, and that'll put a runner on for the BeeJays. That'll bring up Carson Willis, who grounded out his last time up. Willis batting .355, has 2 home runs on the season. Takes a pitch high and outside, works himself ahead in the count, 1-0. The BeeJays, they did most of their damage last night. In the bottom of the 2nd, they would score 5. They would lead at 5-2 at that point and never look back. The A's would try to make a comeback as they would score 4 in the top of the 9th. And they would have runners on as it looked like things might get interesting, but the BeeJays would make the change to Leandro Tamaki to get the final out of the inning as that pitch misses low, scampers up the line. It is 2 balls and 1 strike. So Roberts is going to have a quick chat with his pitcher, Lindsay. The wild pitch, it moved Hudson over to second. Lindsay, he wanted a new baseball. He'll get it, and we'll go back to work. The umpire had to go back to the dugout, the A's dugout, to get some new balls. We'll go back to work. Hudson gets his lead off of second. The 2-1 inside. It bounces towards the backstop and will move Hudson over to third. Roberts lost it for a little bit, but found it after it bounced at the backstop. Willis moves ahead in the count, 3-1. Back-to-back wild pitches has moved the BeeJays runner into scoring position and now just 90 feet away. 3-1 delivery is swung on. Comes up empty, does Willis, and it runs the count full. A payoff pitch. Lindsey comes set. Grounded up the third base line and foul. We'll see the payoff over again. Willis just a bit ahead of it. See if can make contact here again. Grounded up the third base line. Gets past the diving attempt of Perez. It scores a run, and that will put Willis on with a stand-up double at second. Gets the stop sign and stays there, and the BeeJays are on the board. They trail the Dodge City A's 3-1. So that'll bring up Jack Ryan now. Ryan's batting .283 for the Liberal BeeJays, and the A's are going to have a mound visit. We're going to take this opportunity to thank some of our sponsors. The City of Dodge City and Ford County, the Community Foundation of Southwest Kansas, Lewis Automotive Group, and Curbs Law Office. We thank you for your sponsorship and support of Dodge City A's baseball. That quick mound visit is over, and we go back to work. The BeeJays have a runner on at second, 1 out, 1 run in the inning. The A's scored 2 in the second and 1 in the third so far in the game. Jack Ryan up. He grounded out his last time up. Ground out to Moreno. Ryan makes contact, sends a fly ball out into center field. It hits the gap, rolls to the wall. That'll score another run. Ryan rounding second, going to third. The throw is in time, and he is tagged out at second. The third base coach adamant that he swum around the tag. But the call, it appears, is going to stand. That is 2 away, but the run scores for the Liberal BeeJays. They trail it 3-2. So that'll bring up Jacob Ortega, who is the beer batter tonight here at Cavalier Field. The A's, they use the beer batter of the opposing team, and if they get the strikeout of that person, it is discounted beers. Or discounted beverages, I should say. Down in the count, 1-2 is Ortega. Ortega goes down on strikes. That will end the inning. The BeeJays plate 2. They trail it 3-2. You've been listening to Dodge City A's baseball. 3-2 A's as we have entered the bottom of the fourth, and Ian Reed returns to the mound for the Liberal BeeJays. Moreno, Radcliffe, and Huff due up here in the bottom of the fourth. BeeJays, they scored 2 in the top of the fourth to get on the board. The A's 2 in the second, 1 in the third. Jaden Moreno 0 for 0. He was hit by pitch his last time up. Moreno takes a strike called on the outer part of the zone. Finds himself down in the count 0-1. Moreno makes contact. It's a fly ball headed out into left center field. Over the wall and gone. A solo shot to lead off the bottom of the fourth, and the A's have scored in the last 3 half innings. They lead it 4-2. Moreno is batting .300 on the season for the Dodge City A's, and after that one, that will improve. Jacoby Radcliffe steps up to the plate. He grounded into a fielder's choice his last time up, one that was grounded right at the pitcher. Looked like it was off the pitcher's foot. Rolled out to the second baseman, Grego, who made the throw to second. Tried to turn the double play, but not doing it. Delivering hard inside is Reed. Gets Radcliffe to twist out of the way. Reed delivers. Radcliffe starts to show bunt and pulls it back. Radcliffe is ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. He's batting .220 on the season for the Dodge City A's. Little half-hearted swing, fouls it off. Two balls and 1 strike the count. Ball misses. Oh, they say it caught the zone. It's called strike. It evens a count at 2. Two delivery. Reed fires in. It's fouled off by Radcliffe, and the count remains 2-2. Well, it's the first lead that the A's have had over the Liberal BeeJays, as they never led in the game last night. They lead at 4-2 here in the bottom of the fourth. Radcliffe grounds that one foul up the first base line, and the count remains full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Eighth pitch of the at-bat for Radcliffe. Reed delivers and misses outside, and that puts a runner aboard. So nobody out with the runner on. 1 run already in via the home run ball over the left center field wall. That'll bring in Paxton Huff. Huff walked on his last time up. Huff is batting .212 on the season for the Dodge City A's. The A's are definitely looking to try to stay in the upper half of the league standings. The A's are 8-8 overall in the Rocky Mountain League. BeeJays are 9-9. The throw over to first to check on Radcliffe was not in time. He goes. The throw down to second was offline. I believe the first pitch to Huff was a ball. Yep, it was. Two and 0 the count now. Long look back at second. Radcliffe with his lead. Huff shows bunt and pulls back. He's ahead in the count, 3 and 0. Reed looks back, delivers. It is a 4-pitch walk for Paxton Huff, and that puts runners on first and second with nobody away. In steps Dominic Roberts, but first here comes a mound visit from the BeeJays pitching staff. So we'll take this opportunity to thank some more of our sponsors. Cargill Meat Solutions, Lauren Dahl, I Don't Care Family Restaurant and Sports Bar LLC, Parker Haskins Insurance Incorporated, TCBP LLC Jimmy John's, the Victory Electric Cooperative Association Incorporated, and Fragon Financial LLC, Koch Fertilizer, Deriva Energy, Rabine Brothers, United Wireless Communications Incorporated, and Dodge City Kenworth. We thank you for your sponsorship and support of Dodge City A's baseball. The A's are live on YouTube here tonight, and we also want to welcome in our listeners from the Liberal area. We welcome in everybody that is listening on 1270 KSCB Talk Radio and also on 92.3 FM. We thank you for following along here tonight. The A's and BeeJays in action at Cavalier Field. The A's currently leading it 4-2. Dominic Roberts steps up. He has 2 on with nobody out. Takes a pitch called strike. Roberts singled his last time up. Sends one foul up the third base side. Finds himself falling down in the count 0-2. Roberts is batting .167 on the season. So after a mound visit from the BeeJays, there is a pitcher getting started down in the bullpen. There's nobody down in the A's bullpen right now. Runners go. The pitch misses outside. The throw to second rolls out into center field. There was a collision between Grego and Huff. The pitch rolled out into center field. Another BeeJays error, and that scores a run. Two balls and 2 strikes to count to Dominic Roberts. Paxton Huff stands at third. The second run of the inning in. The A's lead at 5-2. Pitch comes in and hits Robert on the leg. That'll put runners on the corners for the Dodge City A's. That brings up Kane Carlos, who is the 5th batter of the inning. The A's will send the courtesy runner out. It's going to be Isaiah Velasco again. So with runners on the corners and nobody away, Carlos steps in. He's 0 for 1, flew out his last time up. Carlos batting .240 on the season. The A's about to complete their second trip through the batting order. The throw over to first, not in time. Work is getting started down in the BeeJays bullpen. Down in the count, 0-1 is Carlos. The pitch, it's popped up. It's up the elevator shaft. Giving chase is Grego. He pulls it down behind second base in shallow center field. And that is out number 1. One away for the Dodge City A's as they turn the lineup over to Edward Gregory Jr., who is 0 for 1. He walked on his last time up. Gregory Jr., he has 35 runs on 23 hits this season. He sends a high fly ball out towards left center field. Going, and gone. It's a 3-run shot over left center wall. And the A's lead it 8-2. As Gregory comes home on the 3-run homer, the A's have a 6-run lead. They've scored 5 so far in the bottom of the 4th. The A's, well, they are definitely trying to break a slump. I haven't said it before. The A's, they come into tonight on a 5-game losing streak. Definitely looking to take out some aggressions here as they lead this one 8-2. They always say there's no place like home. Well, for the A's, that's Cavalier Field, and it's been good to them so far tonight. That brings up Justin Cruz, who is 0 for 2. He grounded out his last time up. He's actually grounded out both times he's been at the plate. Cruz with 11 runs scored on the season on 13 hits. That man has been on a tear. Cruz takes the first pitch from Reed. It's inside for ball number 1. Cruz had a solo home run over the left field wall last night in Liberal. Takes a ball inside again and finds himself ahead in the count 2-0. Reed delivers. Cruz pops it up. It is way up the elevator shaft. Camped underneath it. Pulling it down is Grego again, and that is out number 2. So Matt Perez steps up. Nobody on and 2 away. Perez with 15 runs, 18 hits on the season. The first pitch from Reed misses high and outside. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Perez grounds it to the second baseman, Grego. He'll pick it up, throw to first in time. That completes the inning. We are headed to the top of the 5th. The A's lead at 8-2. It'll be Davis, Cox, and Bernath due up when we return. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Welcome back to Cavalier Field for everybody following along on YouTube and also on the air in Liberal, Kansas, following along on KSCB and 92.3 FM. So we welcome in all of our listeners to Cavalier Field as Carson Lindsay returns to the mound for the Dodge City A's. Diego Davis is leading off for the Liberal BeeJays. He fouls off the first pitch he sees. Davis, he singled the last time he was up. Davis averaging .340 on the season. He'll take a called strike 2, finds himself down in the count 0-2. The 0-2 pitch from Lindsay. He'll miss low. Makes it 1 ball and 2 strikes. Clouds starting to break here at Cavalier. Sun coming out to our west as Roberts jumps a little bit to snag that one. Count even at 2. No work in the A's bullpen. There is some light warm-up work happening right now down in the BeeJays. Grounded to the third baseman Perez. Throw to first in time. Perez ranging on that one, able to make the play, and that is out number 1. And when I say ranging, he was on his high horse to try to get to that one. That brings up JT Cox, who is 0 for 1. He grounded out his last time up. Cox batting .267. Takes a first pitch outside for ball number 1. Lindsay, he's thrown 69 pitches so far in the ball game. 45 have been in 4 strikes. The pitch is fouled back into the netting. It evens a count at 1. 1-1 pitch coming up to Cox. We're at the bottom of the order for the Liberal BeeJays. 1-1. Misses low and a little bit outside. Makes it 2-1. The 2-1 delivery. Again misses a little bit low. Makes it 3 balls and 1 strike. Cox will draw a 5-pitch walk. That puts a runner on with 1 away and returns us back to the top of the order for the Liberal BeeJays as Matt Bernath steps up. 1 for 2 in the ball game. Hit into a line drive the last time he was up. Bernath, he's averaging .298 on the season, has 11 RBIs. So he steps in to take the first pitch. It's low and inside as Roberts lost it for about half a second. Bernath ahead in the count 1-0. 1 on and 1 away as Cox will get his lead off at first. Bernath takes a fly ball out towards right field. Huff moving over to his right. He'll pull it down about 8 feet ahead of the warning track, and that is out number 2. Cox remains at first, and that brings up Todd Baffa. Baffa's batting .324 on the season, has 7 RBIs. As a pitch comes in, and he'll wear it. So that puts runners on at first and second. Baffa felled all of that one as that brings up Drew Grego. Grego is 0 for 2 in the ball game. He grounded out to the pitcher Carson Lindsay his last time up. Grego has 19 RBIs on the season. And that's going to prompt a mound visit from the Dodge City A's. So we'll take this opportunity to thank some more of our sponsors. Conant Construction, LLC. Wild Pines Washes, Dodge City, LLC. Tommy's Car Wash. First Avenue Dental, PA. ITC Great Plains, LLC. Hinton Plumbing Service, LLC. Medical Heights Dental Center, PA. DC Appliance and Furniture. And Dodge City Eye Care. We thank you for your sponsorship and support of Dodge City A's baseball. So Drew Grego is coming to the plate, 0 for 2. Has 2 on with 2 away. Grego last night would only be retired once. So he would pop up to the second baseman. That was in the 5th inning. He would get a double, a hit by pitch, a double, popped out, and singled. He sends one out into left field, playing it off the wall. 1 run scores and getting the stop sign at third. So that will be an RBI double for Grego. So the BeeJays are on the board. They've now scored in the last 2 half innings. So that'll bring in Justin Hudson. He's 0 for 1. Got the walk his last time up. Hudson will take a pitch outside for ball number 1. Hudson with 4 RBIs. Has 2 doubles on the season. 1-0 pitch. Misses outside again and is ahead in the count 2-0. There's 1 base open, so a walk wouldn't be terrible here. The BeeJays with runners at second and third now with 2 away. Baffa's at third. Grego at second. He just hit the RBI double as Hudson will take a pitch low and inside, and he's ahead in the count 3-0. Hudson can afford to be selective here. See if he takes a pitch no matter what. The 3-0 is ball 4, and that loads the bases. There is a pitcher warming up down in the A's bullpen. That brings in Carson Willis. So the BeeJays, they have the bases loaded with 2 away. 1 run in the inning. Willis steps up with 16 RBIs on the season. Was a freshman at Arkansas. So after a quick mound visit between Roberts and Lindsay, we will go to work. It is a bases loaded situation, and we'll see if the A's can get out of it here. Willis, the 7th batter of the inning for the Liberal BeeJays. The BeeJays would bat around in the second. They would actually send 10 to the plate in the bottom of the second last night. They would score 5 runs in that inning as well. Willis takes first pitch for strike 1. Sends a fly ball out towards left field, but it is a long and loud strike number 2. So Willis is down in the count 0-2. The pitch from Lindsay. He's at 83 pitches now in the ball game. That pitch is fouled off. The count remains 0-2. Baffett third, Grego at second, Hudson at first for the Liberal BeeJays. Another 0-2 delivery from Lindsay. Fires in, it misses low and outside. A good job by Roberts to block that one. One, two coming. As Lindsay comes set. He delivers. It's swung on and missed, and that will end the inning. The A's get out of a bases-loaded jam on a strikeout, and we are headed to the bottom of the fifth. The A's lead at 8-3. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. The BeeJays make the call to the bullpen. They bring in Kyle Hawksworth to take over the mound as we enter the bottom of the fifth. The A's leading 8-3. The night for Ian Reed is done. As Hawksworth takes over, he will face Buckley, Moreno, and Radcliffe due up here in the bottom of the fifth. Buckley takes the first pitch strike. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game, was out on a dropped third strike his last time up. Hawksworth, no record, has seven innings pitched, 10 strikeouts, and 3 walks. Has Buckley down in the count 0-2. Ryan Buckley, as the A's are working their third trip through the batting order, and he will go down swinging as his second strikeout of the ball game. Buckley 8 runs on 8 hits for the season, and that brings in Jaden Moreno. Moreno a solo shot over the left field wall his last time up. 1 for 1 in the ball game. Moreno 9 runs on 12 hits this season. Takes the first pitch inside from Hawksworth. Moves ahead in the count 1-0. Hawksworth, he works from the first base side of the rubber. Looks in and has his sign. Delivers a pitch catching the zone. He'll even the count at 1. One delivery, just a bit outside. It moves Moreno ahead in the count 2-1. Moreno drives one. It's on the ground, fielded by Grego at second. The throw to first in time, and that is the second out of the inning. 4-3 put out, and that brings up Jacoby Radcliffe, who walked on his last time up. Radcliffe with 20 runs on 18 hits. Steps up with nobody on and 2 away. The BeeJays would combine to use 4 pitchers last night as Jason Davis got the start. He went 5 innings. Braden Whipple would come in and hold down 3 innings. The BeeJays, they would try to close it out with Trevor Steele. He would start the 9th, would go 2/3 of an inning, and then Leandro Tamaki would come in to get the final out of the ball game. Radcliffe fouls a pitch off and is even in the count at 1 apiece. So Hawksworth is the second pitcher of the ball game tonight for the Liberal BeeJays as Radcliffe grounds one out into right field. The A's have a runner aboard. So after that was grounded into right field, it'll bring in Paxton Huff, who is 0 for 0 so far, has walked on both times he's been at the plate. Huff, 9 runs on 11 hits this season. He'll take a swing and a miss. Finds himself down in the count 0-1. The first outing of the season back on June the 3rd between the A's and the BeeJays. The BeeJays would combine to use Josh Reed, Trevor Steele, Leandro Tamaki, and Aiden Bowman. Radcliffe is down in the count 0-2. BeeJays would beat the A's 3-2 as they would score 2 in the bottom of the 8th to give themselves a lead. Huff sends that one foul down the third baseline. He's down in the count 0-2. 1 on and 2 away for the A's in the bottom of the 5th as they lead it 8-3. So we'll see if the A's make the call to the bullpen coming up in the top of the 6th. Huff grounds that one up the third baseline again and foul. Count remains 0-2. Another 0-2 delivery as it's yanked outside and Radcliffe takes off for second and is in safely. Well, this is the longest outing officially for Carson Lindsay. His longest outing previously was 4 innings. He went 4 innings against the Game Day Angels back on June the 27th. So he's gone 5 innings here tonight against the BeeJays. Hawksworth yanks one outside again, and it puts Deuces Wild across the top of the scoreboard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Hawksworth has what he wants and comes set. He'll take a look back at second. Radcliffe gets a big lead. Huff sends that one foul up the line again. Count will remain 2-2. 8th pitch of the at-bat coming for Paxton Huff as the A's have been good at working longer at-bats. Hawksworth has already thrown 17 pitches in the inning. Came in relief of the starter Reed. 2-2 again is strike number 3, and that will end the inning. We are headed to the top of the 6th. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Carson Lindsay returns to the mound as we are back at Cavalier Field. Top of the 6th. It'll be Ryan, Ortega, and Davis due up in the top of the 6th for the Liberal BeeJays. Filling in for Brock Kappelman tonight, and we'd like to thank everybody listening along on Talk Radio 1270 KSCB and also 92.3 FM back in Liberal. We thank you for following along here tonight. The A's and BeeJays in Dodge City. Long-running rivalry between the A's and BeeJays. We've found our way into the top of the 6th. The A's lead at 8-3. Jack Ryan leads off. He's 1 for 2, doubled the last time he was up. Ryan, the 6'1", 180 freshman from Point Loma Nazarene, takes a first pitch he sees for ball 1. Scored 14 runs on the season. That pitch is in, cold strike. It catches the outer edge of the zone. Count even at 1 apiece to Ryan. Radcliffe, Cruz, and Huff left to right in the outfield. Perez, Carlos, Gregory Jr., and Moreno. That is third to first across the infield. Dominic Roberts still catching, and Carson Lindsay still on the mound for the Dodge City A's. They do have a pitcher in the bullpen. Pitch is popped up and will go out of play, foul again. The count remains 1-2. Actually rolled off the roof of the A's clubhouse. They share it. So the A's, just like back at Seward County with the BeeJays and Saints, the A's, they share this field with Dodge City Community College, the Conquistadors. Pitches inside. Evens a count at 2. 2-2 pitch. Lindsay misses high. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. So we'll see the payoff pitch. Lindsay fires in. It's grounded. Will be fielded by Gregory Jr. The throw to first. Picked and in time for the first out of the inning. Ryan's not happy about it, but it is the first out of the inning. He thought he had it beat out. That brings up Jacob Ortega. Ortega is 0 for 2. He struck out both times he's been at the plate tonight. Ortega with 7 runs on the season. He'll take a first pitch strike. Finds himself quickly down in the count, 0-1. The BeeJays, they're trying to complete their third trip through the batting order as that one's lined right back at Gregory Jr., and that is quickly out number 2. Now you hear of making a shoestring catch. It couldn't have been any more shoestring than that. And still be a line out. So that brings up Diego Davis. He is 1 for 2, grounded out the last time he was up. 2 away for the BeeJays as we are in the top of the 6th. The BeeJays, they trail the Dodge City A's 8-3. First pitch in to Davis, misses for ball 1. Davis fouls that one off. He'll even the count at 1 apiece. Davis has scored 5 runs on the season. Finds himself ahead in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. The delivery, grounded foul at right at the on-deck box for the BeeJays. JT Cox was standing there, watched it go right by him. 2-2 delivery coming up. It's deuces wild across the top of the scoreboard. Lindsay fires in. It's swung on and missed, and that will end the inning as the BeeJays go down 1-2-3 in the top of the 6th. We'll be back after this. You have been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Kyle Hawksworth back on as we enter the bottom of the 6th. The A's lead at 8-3. Welcome back in to Cavalier Field. Roberts, Carlos, and Gregory Jr. due up here in the bottom of the 6th for the Dodge City A's. They're looking to complete their 3rd trip through the batting order. The A's looking to break a 5-game losing streak here tonight. Hawksworth delivers in. It's a high ball 1 to Roberts. Roberts was hit by pitch his last time up. He's 1 for 1 in the ball game. He singled before that. Roberts, he takes a pitch inside as he moves ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Roberts 2 runs on 5 hits for the season. 2-0 pitch, catches the zone, called strike, and makes it 2-1. Sun beginning the process of setting here at Cavalier Field as shadows cast across the field. The 2-1. Fly ball out into center field, and ranging hard, making the catch is Ryan. That is out number 1. Ryan was on his high horse to get to that one. So that'll bring in Kane Carlos, who is 0 for 2. He's flown out both times he has been at the plate. Carlos, 18 runs and 12 hits on the season. The A's are at the bottom of the order, completing their 3rd trip through the batting lineup. First pitch to Carlos. Will miss outside. Moves ahead in the count, 1-0. Carlos would have 2 strikeouts on the game last night. He would also be hit by pitch and draw a walk. He would, in that walk, would come around and score as he was part of the 4-run 9th inning for the Dodge City A's. Down, even in the count at 1. 1 away for the A's. Carlos fouls that one off and falls down in the count 1-2. Pitch was grounded to the third baseman, Baffa. He makes a throw to first in time for the second out. And the A's will turn the lineup over to Edward Gregory Jr. Gregory Jr. is 1 for 2. He hit the 3-run home run his last time up. Junior will see the first pitch come in. It misses outside for ball 1. Edward Gregory Jr., he has a .462 on-base percentage for the Dodge City A's. Shows bunt, pulls it back, takes it for strike number 1. So he's even in the count at 1. Both bullpens have pitchers warming up. Hawksworth misses low and outside. Count now 2 balls and 1 strike to Edward Gregory Jr. Just an hour and 42 minutes into this ball game. So we're in the bottom of the 6th, a fly ball that will be pulled down by Grego. That will end the inning. And we are headed to the top of the 7th. The A's lead at 8-3. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Welcome back into Cavalier Field. The A's have made the call to the bullpen. The night for Carson Lindsay is done. They call to the bullpen and they bring in Ryan Young. So let's take a look. Officially on the books, Carson Lindsay will go 6 innings, allowing 3 runs. All 3 will be earned. He struck out 4, walked 3, and allowed 6 hits. As the night for Carson Lindsay as the A's make the call to the bullpen. They bring in Ryan Young. Young took 1 win for the Dodge City A's. got the win against the Game Day Angels on June the 27th. This is his 4th appearance for the Dodge City A's. Pitched against the Newton Rebels on July 1st, the Angels on June the 27th, and the Denver Cougars on June the 21st. Comes into tonight with 8 innings pitched, has allowed 8 runs, all 8 of them earned, giving him a 9.00 ERA. Has allowed 13 hits, but walked 2 and struck out 5. The first pitch to JT Cox, who leads off the inning, is a fly ball out to left and pulled down by Jacoby Radcliffe for out number 1. So that'll bring up Matt Bernath. Bernath is 1 for 3. He flew out his last time up. Bernath takes the pitch outside for ball number 1. Bernath sees Young deliver high and inside. Moves ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Called strike. 2-1 the count for Bernath. Bernath back at the top of the order for the Liberal BeeJays. He'll take a pitch left outside. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. Bernath will draw the 5-pitch walk. Puts a runner on with 1 away for the BeeJays to bring in Todd Baffa. Baffa, he is 1 for 2. He was hit by pitch his last time up. The first pitch to Baffa. Swung on and missed. Baffa's down in the count, 0-1. Delivery from Young. He misses inside. Even the count at 1. Baffa fouls that one. It'll go out into the field, out of play to our right. Lots of open territory here. There's soccer fields to the left that are natural grass fields, and just an open range grass field to the right. 404 to dead red center here at Cavalier Field as Young misses with the front door curve, and it evens a count at 2. The pitch. Baffa fouls it off again. Count remains 2-2. The A's lead the BeeJays 8-3 as we have entered the top of the 7th. 1 on with 1 away for the BeeJays. They scored 2 in the 4th and 1 in the 5th. Baffa will go down on strikes for the second out of the inning, and that brings up Drew Grego. Grego's 1 for 3, doubled the last time he was up. Grego from Bellevue West has one triple on the season for the Liberal BeeJays. He'll send one, a line foul at the third baseman Perez. They make the throw, but it was called foul by the home plate umpire, and Grego is down in the count 0-1. We'll take Couple of seconds for the defense to reset, and we'll go back to work. Young looks in, crouched over stance. The A's have their middle infield back. The pitch, it is a fly ball out to right field, and it will be over the wall and gone, and the BeeJays draw within 3. They trail 8-5. There's a 2-run shot over the right field wall for Drew Grego, as they have scored 2 now in the top of the 7th. So that brings in Justin Hudson. Hudson's 0 for 1. He drew the walk the last time he was up. Dom Roberts out having a quick conversation with Young. 2 away for the Liberal BeeJays, and now 2 runs have scored. The A's, they scored 2 in the second, 1 in the third, and 5 in the fourth. That is their 8 runs versus 2 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth, and 2 so far in the 7th for the Liberal BeeJays. Hudson ahead in the count 1-0, but he'll swing, comes up empty at the second offering. It evens the count at 1 apiece. Young, he works from the first base side of the rubber, fires in, gets a swing and a miss, and has Hudson down in the count 1-2. BeeJays are within 3. They trail it 8-5. Young yanks one outside. It's deuces wild across the top of the scoreboard. The 2-2 pitch. Young delivers. It's popped up. Should be playable. Moreno tracking it. He's out into foul territory, backtracking a couple of steps. Pulls it down in foul territory, and that will end the inning. BeeJays score 2. We're headed to the bottom of the 7th. It is stretch time in Dodge City. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. The BeeJays make the call to the bullpen, and it is Durham Cross taking over the mound. So the BeeJays onto their third pitcher of the game. Sorry, for the Liberal BeeJays. Cross, a recent addition. There's no real information about Mr. Cross. We'll go to work. It is Cruz, Perez, and Buckley due up here in the bottom of the 7th. The A's lead at 8-3. He'll take the first pitch ball from Cross. What I can tell you, Durham Cross, a right-handed pitcher from Seward County Community College, was a sophomore this year. Comes from Kroll, Texas, and that'll be a hit by pitch. I'll put the leadoff aboard for the Dodge City A's. For just the third time in the ball game, the A's have their leadoff aboard. That'll bring in Matt Perez. Perez is 0 for 3. He grounded out the last time he was up. Takes first pitch strike. The throw down to second. Not in time. So a stolen base for Justin Cruz. So he cruises into second. Cruz has a .571 on base percentage. Perez takes a pitch outside. It evens a count at 1. Matt Perez averaging .434 on base for the A's this season. Cross looks in. He has his sign. He works from the first base side of the rubber. The pitch misses low and inside. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Two 2-1 pitch. Cross wanting a new sign. Has it. Takes a look back at second as Cruz gets a bigger lead. Swung on and missed does Perez, and it will even the count at 2. The 2-2. Ooh. That one hurt. Perez wears it in the face area. So Perez still, he got a cup of water out of the dugout. He's shaken up a little bit. Being checked on by head coach Jeremiah McCollum, and that's over and we'll go back to work. So it was a foul ball that hit Perez. Cruz on at second for the Dodge City A's. They lead it 8-5. Bottom of the 7th in this 9-inning affair. This is a league contest. So we'll go back to work with a 2-2 count. Cross misses, and the count runs full. The BeeJays winners of 3 in a row coming into tonight's contest. Takes a pitch high and inside again. It's ball 4. Perez chucks his bat at the third base dugout, and that puts runners on first and second. Brings up Ryan Buckley, who is 0 for 3. He went down swinging his last time up. Buckley, .342 on base percentage for the Dodge City A's. The BeeJays, they beat the Denver Cougars 11-3 back on June the 29th. That was the last game they played before they played the A's last night. In the 4th of July game, they would beat the A's 13-8. Pitch, showing bunt, pulling back, does Buckley. He takes it high for ball one. This is only the second time this season that the BeeJays have been on the road. Both times it has been here at Cavalier Field. BeeJays will take to the road this week as a will travel to Colorado. A pickoff attempt, and it caught Cruz. Buckley ahead in the count 2-0. Three and 0 now the count to Ryan Buckley. So the A's, they will travel to Liberal tomorrow. They will host the Kansas Cannons here on Monday at Cavalier Field. The BeeJays, they take to the road. They take on the Colorado Rough Riders and the Game Day Angels. They'll go to Derby for 2 games, July 12th and 13th. They will finish the season at home on July the 19th. So after Ryan Buckley draws a walk, that'll bring up a mound visit from the BeeJays pitching staff. So we'll take this opportunity to thank some more of our sponsors: David H. Snap, Robert L. White, John F. Wilkinson, Gail L. Osmus, Mead Lumber Company Incorporated, Best Water of Southwest Kansas, and Mr. G's Liquor. We thank you for your sponsorship and support of Dodge City A's baseball. Well, we would also like to thank our listeners who are following along back in Liberal, Kansas. Those following along on Talk Radio 1270 KSCB and also on 92.3 FM. Thank you for joining us here at Cavalier Field tonight. We're in the bottom of the 7th. The A's lead it 8-5. The A's, they have 2 runners on, Matt Perez at second and Ryan Buckley at first after he just drew the walk, and that will bring in Jade Moreno. 1 out in the inning here in the bottom of the 7th. Jaden Moreno steps up. He's 1 for 2. He grounded out his last time up. Moreno, a .429 on-base percentage this season. Durham Cross remains on the mound for the BeeJays. They made the call to the bullpen coming into this inning. He delivers low to Moreno for ball number 1. The 1-0 pitch. Cross looks in. There is work down in the BeeJays bullpen. Cross delivers outside. Moreno moves ahead in the count 2-0. Cross misses low again. Think it might be Diego Davis down in the bullpen for the Liberal BeeJays. but I could be wrong on that. 3 balls, no strikes to count. Cross delivers. It's inside and ball 4, and that loads the bases. So bases loaded with one away to bring up Jacoby Radcliffe. Radcliffe hit into a fielder's choice. He walked on and then singled in his last at bat. Radcliffe has a .337 on-base percentage for the Dodge City A's as they're working their 4th trip through the batting order. The lower third of the batting order coming up after this. Bottom of the 7th, it is an 8-5 ball game. Perez over at third, Buckley at second, Moreno at first for the Dodge City A's. Radcliffe draws a first pitch strike and is down in the count 0-1. Cross wants a new pitch call, has his sign, and will come set. The pitch misses high. It evens a count at 1. The 1-1 delivery. Misses outside. Makes it 2 balls and 1 strike. The A's are looking to snap a 5-game losing streak here tonight. They started the week off on the road in Hayes. They would drop that game 20-2. They would play a doubleheader in Newton on Tuesday. Radcliffe fouls one off and evens a count at 2. They would drop the first game to Newton 19-8. And then they would drop the second game 9-4. They would play a single 9-inning game at Derby on Wednesday. They would drop that one 14-10. And of course, the A's dropped the game last night to these liberal BeeJays 13-8. Full count now to Radcliffe. The payoff pitch from Cross swung on and missed. And he'll go down on strikes. That's 2 away now in the inning and brings in Paxton Huff. The A's would like to take advantage of this bases loaded opportunity that they've been given. Coach McCollum is going to call an offensive timeout as he wants to talk a few things over. So while Coach McCollum is talking things over, the defensive alignment for the BeeJays, it's still the same. Ortega, Ryan, and Cox left to right in the outfield. Baffa, Bernath, Grego, and Hudson third to first across the infield. Davis behind home plate. So I was wrong. That is not Davis down in the bullpen. Of course, Durham Cross on the mound. See if I can figure out who that is. Leandro Tamaki is down in the bullpen for the liberal BeeJays. Ball 1 fired into Huff. He's walked on twice and struck out. Makes him 0 for 1 in the ball game. The 1-0 pitch. Called strike. It evens a count at 1. Huff, 328 on base percentage for the Dodge City A's. 1-1 pitch coming from Cross. He's thrown 25 pitches in relief. Sits down, gets through the legs of the catcher, and a run comes home. So the A's get a run out of the bases loaded jam. So all batters move, or all the runners move up. That puts Buckley at third, Moreno at second. Having a 2-1 count. The A's have 2 away in the bottom of the 7th and now lead at 9-5. 9 runs on 4 hits for the Dodge City A's. It's 5 runs on 7 hits for the Liberal BeeJays. It's a 3-1 count to Huff. As a ball comes rolling in out of the BeeJays bullpen. Time was called to throw the ball back to the bullpen. There is no protection as the bullpen for the Liberal BeeJays is situated up the first base line, just off of the right field foul pole. For the A's, it's opposite. It's on the left field foul pole. Count 3-2, the payoff pitch coming from Cross. As is sign, looks in and comes set. Moreno gets a lead off of second. The payoff pitch misses high, and that is ball 4. It reloads the bases for the Dodge City A's and brings in Dominic Roberts. 1 run in the inning, and that's going to prompt a mound visit from Jared Maeda, the head coach for the Liberal BeeJays. Betting there is going to be a call to the bullpen. Hasn't been an indication yet as Maeda makes the trek out to home, or out to the mound. Well, there is the call, and that is a pitching change. We'll tell you about the new pitcher when we come back. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. For Mr. Cross is the A's have bases loaded. So Caden Orr steps on the mound. Orr, a recent addition to the Liberal BeeJays. undecided, a right-handed pitcher, a sophomore from Grapevine, Texas. So we'll go to work. The A's have bases loaded with 2 away. 1 run in the bottom of the 7th as they lead it 9-5. Dominic Roberts is 1 for 2. He flew out his last time up. He takes a pitch for a strike and is down in the count 0-1. A diving stop by the catcher, Davis. Count evens itself at 1. Roberts, he has a .342 on-base percentage for the Dodge City A's. Trying to complete their 4th trip through the batting order. The 1-1 pitch comes high and inside to Roberts. Or falls behind in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. BeeJays playing with their infield back. They have Jack Ryan shaded to the left out in the outfield. Roberts fouls that pitch off, and the count evens itself at 2. The pitch, high and inside again, and it did miss Roberts by much, but the count runs full. A payoff pitch coming from Orr. He works from the first base side of the rubber, has his right foot on, has what he wants. He comes set, the runners go, grounded it on the right field side, and it's fielded by Grego. The throw to first is in time, so the A's leave them loaded. They score 1, they lead at 9-5. We're headed to the top of the 8th. It'll be the middle part of the order with Willis, Ryan, and Ortega due up when we return. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Top of the 8th, and the BeeJays are down to their final 6 outs of the ball game. They will have Willis, Ryan, and Ortega due up here in the top of the 8th. The A's lead at 9-5. They have Ryan Young returning to the mound. Young, just the second pitcher of the game for the Dodge City A's. He's in the 2nd inning of relief. Gets Willis to swing and miss on the first pitch. He's down in the count 0-1. Willis, he got caught swinging his last time up. He's 1 for 3 in the ball game. So pitch misses and evens a count at 1. Young works quickly, fires a diving stop by Roberts. It is ball 2. Willis pops that one up. It's playable. Moreno's tracking it. He'll have it in foul territory for out number 1. There's been multiple pop-ups in foul territory tonight, especially over to Moreno at first. So with one away, that'll bring in Jack Ryan. He is 1 for 3. Ryan grounded out the last time he was up. The BeeJays, they're trying to win their 4th game in a row. They dropped a game to the Denver Cougars back on June the 27th and would lose to the Larks on the 25th and 26th. The game on the 26th was an 11-9 win for the Larks. It took 10 innings to complete that game. Ryan ahead in the count 1-0. Young steps on. He has his pitch. Comes set. Delivers the 1-0. It's called strike on the outer part to even the count at 1. A few fireworks being displayed around Dodge City here tonight. Years past, you've been able to see them in the neighborhood that's to the north of Cavalier Field. Not so much tonight, though. Pitch missed low. Makes it 2 balls and 1 strike. No work in the A's bullpen. There are people down in the BeeJays bullpen, but no active warming up right now. Pitch misses outside. Makes it 3 balls and 1 strike. The 3-1 pitch. Young delivers. It's swung on and missed, and the count runs full. So we'll see the payoff pitch here from Ryan Young. He's in his 2nd inning of relief. Young's thrown just 28 pitches so far. The payoff. Swung on and missed, and that is out number 2. Ryan goes down on strikes, and that is the 7th strikeout of the ball game, and that brings in the beer batter, Jacob Ortega. Ortega, he's 0 for 3. He hit into a line drive, but he'll send one out into right field, and the BeeJays have a runner aboard. So 1 on with 2 away for Diego Davis as the BeeJays are working to complete their 4th trip through the batting order. Davis is 1 for 3. He got caught swinging his last time up. So Davis will take a first pitch strike, called strike on the outer half of the zone. Young will take a look over at first. Ortega has a lead. He's at the cutout. And check swing. They say no. It evens the count at 1. Pitch looked awful good from up here, but say no. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1 pitch. Grounded to Gregory Jr. They'll flip to second for the out. So the fielder's choice, and that'll end the inning. We're headed to the bottom of the 8th. Carlos, Gregory Jr., and Cruz due up when we return. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Welcome back in to Cavalier Field. Caden Orr returns to the mound for the Liberal BeeJays. The BeeJays, they're on to their fourth pitcher of the ball game. Ian Reed, the starter for the BeeJays tonight, he went 4 innings. Kyle Hawksworth goes 2. Durham Cross goes 2/3. Caden Orr came in the last half inning to finish it off. He got the final out of the 7th. Now we are in the bottom of the 8th. Kane Carlos due to lead off for the Dodge City A's. He's 0 for 3. Flew out his last time up. He takes a pitch low from Orr. Moves ahead in the count. 1 ball and no strikes. Carlos takes a pitch low again. It's 2-0. Carlos, .435 on base percentage. 2-0 delivery coming. Called strike as it catches enough of the inner edge of the zone and makes it 2-1. 9-5 A's as we've entered the bottom of the 8th. Pitch misses inside. So the A's, I can guarantee you, would like to get a few insurance runs here. There used to be a saying, I've been with the team for a lot of years. Back when we were in the Jayhawk League together, there was a saying that there is no safe lead in the Jayhawk. Carlos swings and misses. He'll come up empty. Count runs full. So the payoff pitch from Orr is delivered on the outer part of the zone and will catch Carlos looking for out number 1. He's not happy with the call, but he'll go back to the dugout. Turns the lineup over for Edward Gregory Jr. We're back at the top of the order. He is 1 for 3. He flew out his last time up. Gregory Jr. has a .449 slugging percentage for the Dodge City A's. He'll take a pitch outside as he shows bunt and pulls back. He's ahead in the count, 1-0. The catcher, Davis, wanted to appeal down to the field umpire. Got a little frustrated at the call because the umpire didn't respond. The 1-0 pitch, showing bunt again, and Gregory Jr. pulls back, has to scamper back, and is ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. The 2-0 pitch, it is fouled off. It's 2-1 the count for Edward Gregory Jr. He scampers back. Counts 3 balls and 1 strike. Thank you for following along tonight on this holiday weekend. Gregory Jr., he'll draw the 5-pitch walk. That puts a runner aboard for Justin Cruz. Cruz is 0 for 3. He was hit by pitch his last time up. Cruz slugging a hot .840 on the season for the A's. Of course, that's a little bit skewed. Cruz just joined the team about a week and a half ago. Runner goes. A pitch is dropped by Diego Davis. The first pitch in for ball 1 and a stolen base for Edward Gregory Jr. So a runner in scoring position for the Dodge City A's with 1 away. .1-0 delivery coming. We're taking a look at second. Gregory Jr. has a big lead off of second, but Pitch is in for strike to even the count at 1. Wind blowing out of the south here at Cavalier tonight. It's been out of a couple of different directions as a few weak thunderstorms passed to our south. The pitch was swung on. It is fouled straight down by Cruz. He's down in the count 1-2. And by straight down, it went into his shoe. Hit him in the foot. We'll go back to work. The count 1-2. There's some of the fireworks past the outfield wall that the A's like to see on the post 4th of July festivities. One-two delivery coming. We're now at 20 pitches in the ball game. 9 have been in for strikes. They'll send Gregory Jr. back to second on the throwback. Was not in time. Well, as it usually does, the pace of play slows down considerably in the later innings. 2.5 hours into this ball game. Pitch down low. It gets away from the catcher, rounding third and coming home. The A's score on a wild pitch from second base by Edward Gregory Jr., and they lead it 10-5. So Cruz fouls off a pitch. Count remains 2-2. Nobody on now and 1 away. The A's, they lead it 10-5. So a big insurance run there for the A's. Cruz will swing and miss, and he comes up empty. Will go down on strikes. That's 2 away for Matt Perez. Perez, he's 0 for 3. He walked on his last time up. Perez slugging 500. He'll take a pitch inside for ball number 1. No active work in the bullpen for the Liberal BeeJays. The 1-0, it's a high fly ball, but it will be well foul and out of play as Perez will even the count at 1 apiece. Well, that ball's not going to be fun to go find as it's well out into the dark past the outfield wall. Perez checks his swing and takes ball 2. It's ahead in the count 2-1. Pitch gets Perez to scoot back. He's ahead in the count 3-1. The A's got their insurance run. They've scored in the last 2 half innings. They've only been held scoreless in 3 half innings in the ball game. Perez will draw the 5-pitch walk. That puts a runner on for Ryan Buckley. Except the A's are going to send a pinch hitter in for Buckley. It's going to be Isaiah Velasco.
Now into bat for the A's, 16, Isaiah Velasco.
So Velasco steps up, the graduate from Post University. Make the throw back to first, not in time. Velasco, he's getting his first at-bats of the ball game. Velasco hit 3-hole last night. He struck out 3 times, drew a walk, and hit a single. Takes the first pitch for ball number 1. Lasco hitting the 3-hole, was the right fielder last night for the Dodge City A's. The 1-0 pitch. Yanked inside, got Lasco to scoot back. He's ahead in the count, 2-0. Davis getting a workout behind home plate tonight for the Liberal BeeJays. The A's, they lead the game 10-5. BeeJays playing with their middle infield back. 1 on and 2 away. Lasco will take a step backwards out of the batter's box. Lasco checks his swing. He'll take ball 3. Or takes a big breath. He'll look in and get his signs and come set. The 3-0 pitch. Called strike. It catches enough of the outer edge of the zone, and Lasco still ahead 3-1. The 3-1 pitch. Lasco will foul that one off. It'll run the count full. We'll see the payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. That ends the inning. The A's, they got the insurance run. It'll be 9-1-2 due up for the BeeJays as the A's look to win here tonight at Cavalier Field. We'll take a step aside. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Top of the ninth, the BeeJays have Cox, Bernath, and Baffa due up. They're down to their final 3 outs as they trail 10-5 against the Dodge City A's. JT Cox steps up. He is 0 for 2 in the ball game. He flew out his last time up. He'll take a pitch outside from Young. Moves ahead in the count 1-0. Cox sends a pop-up, being tracked in the outfield. Backtracking a couple of steps is Cruz, and that is quickly out number 1. Down to their final 2 outs now for Matt Bernath as the BeeJays turn the lineup over. They're starting their 5th trip through the batting order. Bernath is 1 for 3. He walked on his last time up. Pitch swung on and missed. Bernath down in the count 0-1. Pitch is called strike. Bernath's down in the count 0-2. A's opting to play their middle infield deep as Young will bounce the pitch ahead of home plate. Makes it 1 ball and 2 strikes. One-two delivery. Ryan Young's out for his third inning of work. Grounded to the third baseman, Perez. Routine throw to first in time. And out number 2. Well, the BeeJays are down to their final out. They trail the A's at 10-5. The A's are 1 out away from breaking a 5-game losing streak. It only took return to Cavalier Field to do it. Todd Baffa, he'll ground it up the middle, fielded by Kane Carlos. The throw to first is up the line. It was going to be a hard play. Baffa beats out the infield single, and the BeeJays have a runner aboard. It was a great play by Carlos. He was running on it, made the cutoff. Was able to get it over to first, but the throw was up the line, and Baffa had it beat out anyway. That brings up Drew Grego. Grego is 2 for 4. He hit into a home run his last time up. So 1 on and 2 away for the BeeJays. The pitch called strike has Grego down in the count 0-1. Grego sends a high fly ball. It's out towards the right center field wall, and it's gone. So his second home run of the ball game. That's been a night for Drew Grego. The BeeJays trail it 10-7. Well, the A's, they still have a 3-run lead, but man, that run in the bottom of the 8th sure feels like good insurance right now. That'll bring up Justin Hudson. He's 0 for 2. He flew out his last time up. Drew Grego, he has had a night at the plate. He's been a terror for the Dodge City A's. Hudson takes a pitch low for ball number 1. Ball 2 delivered inside. The 2-0 pitch over Hudson's head. It's 3 balls and no strikes. And now that third out starting to look a little bit elusive for the Dodge City A's as Young is behind in the count 3-0 to Hudson. Carson Willis stands in the on-deck circle for the Liberal BeeJays. The A's are going to start sending a pitcher to the bullpen. Caden Stewart is walking that direction, but not actively warming up. Count 3-1 after the called strike. Grounded up the third base line, and that will be a single for Hudson. So the BeeJays, they have a runner aboard. Now the tying run is in the on-deck circle. So that brings up Carson Willis. He's 1 for 4. Willis flew out into foul territory his last time up. He'll take ball number 1. Willis evens a count at 1 as he comes up empty on Young's offering. 1 pitch coming. Young has thrown 49. That is the 50th pitch as it is called strike on the inner edge of the zone. Willis down in the count, 1-2. 1-2 delivery. Swung on and foul tipped. That'll do it. The A's get the final strikeout of the inning, and that gives them the 10-7 win.
That's ball game, guys. A's moving back in action right here.
So we will take a step aside. We'll come back with your post-game wrap-up. After this, you've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball.
As always.
(10-7) the final here at Cavalier Field as the A's, they break a 5-game losing streak. We were watching a few post-game issues as the umpires making sure that both teams got off the field without problems. So there might have been a few words said between each other as the game concluded. Carson Lindsay, he gets the win on the mound for the Dodge City A's. Ian Reed will take the loss for the Liberal BeeJays. Ryan Young picks up a win, going 3 innings in relief as the A's win it 10-7. The Liberal BeeJays, they score 2 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, 2 in the 7th, and 2 in the 9th. 7 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors for the Liberal BeeJays, a strand 7. 2 runs in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd, 5 in the 4th, the big inning for the Dodge City A's. 1 in the 7th and 1 in the 8th. 10 runs, 4 hits, 1 error for the Dodge City A's. They strand 6. Just take a look at the scoring summary for the Dodge City A's. They would get the scoring started in the 2nd as they would get Jaden Moreno on a hit by pitch. Jacoby Radcliffe would hit into a fielder's choice. He would come around and score after Paxton Huff would draw the walk, and then Dominic Roberts with a 2-run single that would get the A's on the board. The A's would get their leadoff on in the 3rd. They would get Edward Gregory Jr. on, and then he would be driven in on a Matt Perez 6-3 ground out. The A's would score again in the 4th as Jaden Moreno would lead off with a solo shot over the left field wall. Jacoby Radcliffe and Paxton Huff would draw back-to-back walks, followed by a Dominic Roberts hit by pitch that would load the bases. Edward Gregory Jr. would come back up, and he would hit a 3-run home run over the left field wall. The A's would score 5 in the bottom of the 4th inning. The A's would go quiet for a couple of innings, but then they would come back in the 7th as they would draw a leadoff hit by pitch to Justin Cruz. Matt Perez would draw a walk. Ryan Buckley draws a walk, as does Jaden Moreno. That loads the bases. Perez, he would be driven in on a wild pitch during the Paxton Huff at bat, who ultimately drew the walk. Then the A's would get their insurance run in the bottom of the 8th on a walk drawn by Edward Gregory Jr. So that'll do it as the A's, they break a 5-game losing streak. They beat the Liberal BeeJays tonight 10-7. The A's improved to 11-15 overall on the season, 9-8 in Rocky Mountain League play. The BeeJays, they will drop to 11-10 on the season and 9-10 in the Rocky Mountain League. So that'll wrap it up. I am Justin Hergert alongside for tonight. We thank all of our listeners that followed along on Talk Radio KSCB, also at 92.3 FM down in Liberal, Kansas. I am Justin Hergert. For the entire A's board and organization, we say thank you for following along. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball.